Welcome back to Talk of the Town. As a business owner, do you ever wonder how do you get from where you are to where you want to be? How do you bridge that gap? Getting to your goal is all about making better decisions. Rockwell Business Solutions exists to help small businesses design their future. Here to tell us more is the driving force behind it all, Roy Austin. Roy, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate you having me.
So, do small business owners understand the accounting and finance side of their businesses?
For the most part, not really.
Okay.
They're product people. They're idea people. They've got great new ways of doing things, but they're not numbers people necessarily. So they tend to ignore the financial side of it, and as you grow, that's going to get you in trouble.
Okay. So is that the complicated part to learn, the accounting finance side of that business?
Actually, not really.
Okay.
It's not rocket science. You don't have to be a CPA or an accountant to know what to look for and where to look. Those are the two critical things, because then you can ask intelligent questions of whoever your bookkeeper is or whoever your accountant is, because a lot of it's just common sense.
Right. So I mean, it's more or less making sure side A and side B pretty much match.
Well, yeah, that's true, but it's also making sure the numbers are in the right place, that you've got the right numbers in there, and
for a lot of, I think, business owners, they don't take care of that aspect. I know myself, I do take care of it, so I'm very in tune to it. But I know a lot of people that either have somebody who does the bookkeeping and or they send out that service.
Right, and in a lot of cases, what they do is they turn it over to somebody who is really not qualified but is very inexpensive. And that's not to say that that's not an intelligent person, but they just haven't had the training and experience to help you understand and know how to use the information in your financial system.
So what are some of the biggest financial mistakes that small businesses make?
I have an acronym I call ERUPT FB, because it'll erupt into a full-blown mess if you screw it up, if you make mistakes. Excessive owner's distributions. You can't build a business without cash, so if you're taking it all out. Reserves. You got to have cash reserves. This last recession proved that.
Absolutely.
Underqualified accountant. Inexpensive but costly in the long run. Planning. I see so many small businesses, they simply open their doors. They don't do the due diligence. You need to take a minimum of a year. I know one that took 4 years planning it. Taxes. I've seen tax strategy trump business strategy. Yeah, you can buy that piece of equipment and get a big write-off.
Right.
But is that consistent with what your business strategy is? The F, I call FICA taxes. This gets more business in trouble than anything else, is where they withhold the taxes from their employees, but they fail to send that money on to the government. And the IRS will come knocking.
They will.
And finally, the other thing, my mind just went blank.
That's okay. But you know, I wanted to bring up something.
Bank statements. They don't reconcile their bank statements.
Reconciliations, so
and you know
important.
What? The banks they aren't always right, and people can draft money out of your account or write bad checks on your account, and if you don't reconcile it, you won't know it.
That is one thing I've learned in business. I reconcile my own bank account monthly. QuickBooks, it's the most widely used accounting software by small businesses. I actually use QuickBooks, but you say it has a major flaw, so what is that?
Well, it's a phenomenal program, and it's a tremendous value for the money. But what happens with small businesses, they generally, as you grow and more people have access to the books, they simply let everybody use their own ID and password.
Right.
So you might have 2 or 3 people in there with their own ID and password. Now you can't tell who made the transaction.
Understood.
And in QuickBooks you can delete things, you can change dates, you can change amounts, you can change accounts.
Right.
If you don't know who made those entries, they can be stealing from you.
Right. Absolutely. I do agree with you on that. I do. So quickly, what advice would you give to small business owners on how to improve the accounting and financial side of their business?
You can't just set it and forget it. If you just say, "Oh, I'm going to turn that over to my accountant," I know one person that had the CPA. Well, he reconciles my bank statements. Well, he hadn't done it in 3 years. He'd been busy. So you've got to monitor it, and monitor on a weekly and a monthly basis. Not just look at annual numbers. Your financial statements are not just for doing tax returns or getting bank loans.
Right.
You need to understand how to use that information so you can grow and improve your business.
Roy, thank you. All great information.
Thank you, Sandy.
And we thank you so much for joining us on today's Talk of the Town.